Kevin, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Great to see you, and really looking forward to this music. I've been out on your website, and there's all sorts of music out there. Everybody, it's kevincampbellmusic.com, but you don't need to go out there now because, Kevin, whatever you'd like to start with, we'd love to hear.
All right, I'm going to kick things off with a song called Ferris Wheel. And around we go, like a Ferris wheel, up and down we go, back to where we started again. Girl, hold me close, and baby, let's go for a ride in this car built for two. Buckle up, next stop's the sky. Oh, I love to peep the view with you, my dear, alongside. And around we go, like a Ferris wheel, up and down we go, back to where we started again. Around we go, just like a Ferris wheel, up and down we go, back to where we started again. Well, come on now, the weight of this world, at times it's gonna bring us down. There's no stopping the momentum, no, we're gonna have to ride this one out. Girl, you just wait and see that soon we're gonna swing back around. And around we go, like a Ferris wheel, up and down we go, back to where we started again. Around we go, just like a Ferris wheel, up and down we go, back to where we started again. Well, you're just as sure to go up as you are to come down. Sometimes you're gonna get stuck and end up hanging around. To enjoy all those highs, well, gotta bear those lows, 'cause they're all intertwined. It's round and round, up and down, round and round we go, like a Ferris wheel, up and down we go, like a Ferris wheel, round and round we go. It's like a Ferris wheel, up and down we go, back to where we started again. And around, like a Ferris wheel.
Kevin Campbell live here in the studio. What a wonderful way to start the show.
Again, I'm locking the doors. He doesn't get to leave.
We're keeping the musicians.
Where are we finding these fantastic artists? Holy moly. Kevin, how did you get started with this? I mean, this form of expression.
I was doing like spoken word poetry like in my 20s, early 20s.
Yep.
And then when I was like 26, I was like in a Montgomery Award that was about to go out of business, and I was like, they were selling this guitar, like it was like had a dent in it, and they were selling it pretty cheap. And I was like, I think I'm gonna learn how to play guitar. And then all those poems just started turning into songs.
Wow.
And I still didn't play out live for like 10 years. I just wrote a lot of songs, and then finally got the nerve up to play out, and then I caught the bug.
So this is the old, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you have a guitar, all of your poems become songs.
There you go.
Yeah.
So everybody, that was Kevin Campbell's song "Ferris Wheel" from the record "Where Do We Go From Here?" And when in time was that released?
2014. First album. That version I just played sounds a lot different than that version on that album. But
so in the last 10 years, you've done a tremendous amount of work. So when did you come this way from California?
I moved out here May of 2022.
And somehow you found the way to the perfect place to record your latest release, and that is F.J. Ventry and John Shane, the duo there. How did you find them? Because they're sort of over here this way.
I had a friend that I knew from just like going to open mics, and she put out a single, and I was like, that guitar sounds ripping. And I was like, so I was looking at her credits to see who it was, and it was John Shane. And I saw that he and FJ produced that song, and I was like, huh. So I started just doing research, and I just contacted them, not knowing them or even having like a recommendation to them, and just off of the sound that I heard. And then I talked to them, and they were great guys, and I'm glad I went with them.
Well, that's how we found you. I think it was around December, maybe November. We're talking about different people to bring into the show, and FJ's the one. He said, you really need to get Kevin over here to the radio show, and aren't we glad we did?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you have for us next?
All right, I'm going to do a little song called Wish I Was Walking You Home. It's that kind of thing when you're like walking down the street and you see somebody you're attracted to, and they just walk by and out of your life, and then you just have this whole scenario in your head, like where you had like confidence to talk to them and where your life could be.
That happens to you too.
Yeah.
But thank you, as thanks for keeping it in your head and not chasing it down.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, thank you.
I blame my mom. That's how I was raised. All right, here we go. Girl, I can tell a thing or two about you. The way you walk and talk got me out here, acting a fool, losing my cool, trying to but you just walk by like you couldn't care less. Damn, still like to watch you go. Man, wish I was walking you home, 'cause then I would say a thing or two about me. I smile and hold your hand if you'd let me. Then I'd ask you for your number and tell you I call, and then I'd probably go home and just stare at my phone like, man, how long until I call? Man, hope she picks up. And I probably have a dream or two about you when I wasn't losing sleep thinking about you. I'm not normally like this, trying to understand how you got me on the street with my hands on my head like, damn, just watching you go. Man, wish I was walking you home, home, home. Wish I was walking you home. Girl, I can tell a thing or two about you. The way you walk and talk got me out here, acting a fool, losing my cool, trying to impress, but you just walk by like you couldn't care less. Damn, so like to watch you go, watch you go. Man, wish I was walking you home, home, home. Wish I was walking you 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 home, home, home. 'Cause I can tell a thing or two about you. The way you walk and talk got me out here acting a fool, losing my cool, trying to impress, but you just walk by like you couldn't care less.
Oh,
Aw.
Kevin, so we left off getting a guitar at Montgomery Ward, Monkey Ward.
Monkey Ward.
Forgot all about them until Kevin brought them up.
I got the best couch of my life at Montgomery Ward in Chicago. The best.
Lasted a lifetime. That's why they went out of business. Once you buy one thing there, you don't need
You don't have
to
to buy it
That's
again.
right.
So you got a guitar. You're figuring out how to play it. Did you have any lessons or anything, or just self-taught?
No, just sat there and.
Because you do well.
Thank you. I'll just take it.
But songwriting's a whole different thing. Whatever possessed you to think you're going to write a song?
I don't know. I always kind of like tried to put all my thoughts into kind of words. So it was either poems or rapping or something. It was always something. And then songs just kind of felt like the best way because you just can make an idea in like one sentence and get it across, and it's just like the best feeling. And people clap whether they like it or not at the end of the song.
Well, they never did that for me.
Well, you mentioned spoken word before. Was that how you initially were getting your words out?
Yeah.
And did it really feel like a very different thing when you moved from spoken word to songs?
Yeah, none of my poems worked as songs. Like
Right.
they were way off.
But the experience of being on stage and presenting it to people, is that a totally different experience?
Definitely. I had trouble at first just playing guitar in front of people and singing into the mic. So like that brought all kinds of angst to me trying to get my point across, which is all I wanted to do.
And did you struggle with, as I did, moving from spoken word to singing and songwriting, the fact that when people come to a poetry show, and people do, they really come to listen to you.
Yeah.
They're focused, they're not at the bar. But when you're playing music, you don't know.
Yeah.
And also you've got to manage this thing. How long did it take you to really, because clearly you're comfortable, or at least you're acting comfortable. How long did it take you to get really comfortable and confident with the instrument?
A while. Like I would go to the same open mic for every Thursday.
Wow.
In Glendale. I would go to the same open mic every Thursday for like 10 years.
Wow.
Even past the time when I felt like I didn't need to go to the open mics anymore, I still was going regularly because I could always try out new songs and see how they fit in a room. I could always play a quiet song in a loud bar, see if I could make them get quiet and listen, and like all these different things. And it made my skin thick. And I had a great group of friends and other songwriters and other things. So just grinding on that.
That's good advice.
I think
Really
all
good
musicians
advice.
should do regular open mics.
Yeah. And for that reason, you learn how to check your ego at the door. You're able to test out new material. And you're also able to gauge the audience. Like, and do I have this power to do this?
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart.
And usually it sounds crappy, so you get used to like not having like monitors and things, and you can play in any situation after that.
Yeah, the sound
So
person
smart.
who's off getting a beer when your song is playing.
Exactly. Which has happened.
Yeah, I know it happens pretty much every Tuesday night across the street. I shouldn't say that. We love Yonder. We're arguing about who's asking the next question.
Well, I ain't asking any question except I am dying to hear another song.
Okay. I'm gonna play a song that's on the last album that came out. It's called Lost at Sea. I'm gonna give a little bio to the album at first. 3 months into moving to California, I met this girl, Melissa, and we started dating pretty fast after that and started living together pretty fast. And we were together 22 years, and she
Wow.
died in the spring of 2021.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Tragically. And so I didn't want to do music for a while. I really didn't. And then I ended up like getting my thoughts together, and I put out an album about my stages of grief, and it's called The Stages. And each song just kind of represents a different point, like 6 months later, a year later, which is where I was at, and kind of goes through my stages, like, acceptance and all that. This song was the first song I wrote. It was 3 months after she died. I didn't think I was going to write a song, and this one came out. And every grief book that people gave me was sitting there saying, like, grief will come in waves, and it'll always knock you down, and just waves. You never know when it's going to come. So I was thinking about that when I wrote this one. This one's called Lost at Sea. carried away on this grief like a raft out to sea. I'm at the mercy of the waves. There's no land in sight, so try as I might to keep this thing upright all day. I tossed and I turned, and from this loss I've learned. Be thankful for all that I have, 'cause good times don't last, they fade in the past. I miss you. It's me and my grief, and we're far from the beach, lost at sea. Well, baby, come rescue me. Come rescue me. I feel like I've drowned as I breathe in and out, trying to keep it intact. There's no going back to what we had. I miss you. It's me and my grief, and we're far from the beach, lost at sea. Well, baby, come rescue me. Come rescue me. It's me and my grief, and we're far from the beach, lost at sea. Baby, come rescue me. Come rescue me. Well, these days, they drift by so quiet, and these nights are so damn trying until we meet again. I miss you.
Beautiful song. Wonderful.
Thank you.
So, Kevin, you'd shared with us how you met F.J. Ventry and John Shane. So when a lot of people maybe haven't been in that experience of working with a producer, so you have these songs. What happens? Briefly walk us through. So you met John in person, then what happens?
Yeah, we would meet up Wednesday nights, and then we'd like go through each song and just figure out what the tempo would be. We'd figure out like, oh, we should probably go to the bridge right here instead of doing that pre-chorus again, so we can get that, that movement and like all this stuff. We like did all that discussion. Things like, oh, I could hear a harmonica on this. I could hear this and that and all these different instruments, and we just took these notes, and then we just went in the studio with that. And we pretty much stayed faithful to what we decided before we even brought other musicians in. There were still like moments of like inspiration where you had like new things happen, but we pretty much stuck with it. And John Shane was great. He's one of those guys that's just like knows how to tell the horn to like blend in with the guitar here and the bass to get out of the way of this here, and like stuff I don't even think about. I just kind of just strum hard and sing hard.
That's what I love about John. I mean, he's so tasteful and delicate about the work that he does, and very invested in it. I mean, it's really important to him. And we've had a lot of people come through here, really good songwriters who have been their careers enhanced by working with John and FJ.
Absolutely. He's a good guitar teacher, too.
So what do you lay down first? You go in yourself and put the guitar track down, and then you sing. Is there a click track, or what happens?
First, I'll play the song to a click track, singing and playing at the same time. And then I'll go back and listen to that and play the guitar against it. And that'll be the guitar part.
So both, or you'll remove the first one? And
We'll
keep
remove the
second?
first one, and then I'll put down the actual guitar. And then after that, I go in and sing, and then all the other parts are put on after that.
Nice. Exciting.
Which is the best part of like all of it. Just watching somebody come in and put a new element on a song is like so great.
Oh, so you got to be there when some of the people came in.
Yeah.
Nice. And what period of time did this? Because you got how many tracks? Maybe 7, 8?
I was 7 on that one, yeah.
Yeah. And over what period of time does this take?
It was really quick. We started like in March, and it was done and mastered in July.
Nice. Wow.
That's a good quick timing.
Absolutely. Everybody, we're enjoying our time tremendously with Kevin Campbell in the studio. You can learn all about Kevin at kevincampbellmusic.com, just like it sounds. Kevin, you got any live gigs coming up people can come and see in person?
I'm playing a cover gig where I play a lot of my originals.
Yeah.
At the Salty Turtle Brewery in Raleigh next Saturday, the 21st.
Excellent.
6 to 9.
Everybody get over there.
Yeah, that's going to be a good gig. And why aren't you playing more?
This year I just kind of slowed down. I played a lot last year, like almost every weekend, and this year I kind of slowed down a little bit, but now I'm looking to ramp it up.
Because the world needs to hear more of your music. This is good.
That's mighty kind of you.
Well, we book every month, third Wednesday of every month, over at Yonder across the street. So we're starting to look at our dates we book several months in advance. Look at our dates in early next year. So we'll be in touch with you on that one.
That's great.
Yep.
Oh, that would be a good fit over
I
at
will
Yonder.
be there. It is on my calendar.
Amen.
That's awesome. It's on my calendar. I don't even know the date.
It's already there.
Kevin, will you play us some more music?
Yeah. All right, this one's called I Keep Dreaming. I get a little loud on this one, so I'll try to back off.
Oh, we got you.
I keep dreaming, lying here awake at night, trying to make peace with my need to fight. Feeling so dark in this morning light, I get up as if I've fallen from gray heights. I've been low, about as low as you can get. I've been high, must have built a tolerance, don't know why. Doesn't make no damn sense how I work my way through it, just to come back to it. Lord, I tried, I put my back into it. Ain't no lie, I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm just laying in bed, replaying all the things I said. I keep dreaming, lying here awake at night, trying to make peace with my need to fight. Feeling so dark in this morning light, I get up as if I've fallen from gray heights. I've been tired, but I got right on up. I've been fired, didn't get all caught up. Why am I wired to think that it all messes up when I've already been through it? Work my way back to it. Lord, I tried, I put my back into it. Ain't no lie, I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm just laying in bed, replaying all the things I said. I keep dreaming, lying here awake at night, trying to make peace with my need to fight. Feeling so dark in this morning light, I get up as if I've fallen from gray heights. I keep dreaming, lying here awake at night, making peace with my need to fight. So dark in this morning light, I get up as if I'm falling, up as if I'm falling again. Get up as if I'm falling again. I get up as if I'm falling again. I get up, I lying here awake at night, trying to make peace with my need to fight. Feeling so dark in this morning light. I get up as if I'm falling again. Thanks for letting me scream at you.
Do it some more. Kevin Campbell live here in the Pass the Hat studios, and we're having a big time.
You're not scared of jazz chords. We
No.
don't always see jazz chords. And so here you are, guy who started on the Montgomery Ward guitar, busting out with jazz chords. How did that happen?
I was listening to either blues or like Ella Fitzgerald or stuff like that. Like around the time I started learning guitar, so I'd
Yep.
buy all these songbooks back then when you buy songbooks.
Right.
And I would just kind of like open them up and see a chord and then play it, and then I'd just kind of reverse engineer songs and just kind of take chords and put my chords around it. Oh, that sounded good. That sounded good. And then I just have this weird chord in it just because I just opened the book to page 37.
I'm impressed because when I try and do that, I go, how do you get your fingers there?
Well,
Yeah.
have you seen his fingers? They're
Well,
8
I
inches
was gonna
long.
say,
Yeah.
when you play, I'm noticing when you play A, for example, you just use your finger pad
Yeah.
to do a lot of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm noticing also when we kind of do the rhythm, the hammer on and off, you're doing it in ways that really utilize your whole hand. So how often do you practice each day? Or like through a week, what's your practice session look like? 'Cause that's practice, that's work.
If I have a gig, then I'm working on songs. I do my voice every day.
Okay.
I'm always doing vocal exercises. As far as guitar, I just usually just kind of play songs and then just kind of focus in on parts that don't feel as smooth as I want them to feel, or I want to elevate them, so I try new things with it. But and occasionally I'll do scales and I'll go at it hard for a month, and then I won't do it again for 2 years and I have to like relearn it all over again 2 years later, and I'll go hard at it for a month.
Well, color me impressed.
You do look impressed.
It's just the whole package here is, and the self-taught angle, like that's hard to get past. That someone can be this good and self-taught.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
My next line of questioning was, who taught you how to play guitar? But no, it was
Yeah, it was just-
you and figuring out chord structures and looking at books and saying, hey, I want to try what this chord sounds like. And that's about as organic as you can get with music. So you end up making music that is as much you as anything else. It's not anybody else's music. It's just you. And I think that's what is
Yeah,
it's
that took a
impressing
long
Ken.
time. I would always like go, oh, I want to be like that, and that's so clean the way they played that, and when they did this, and I want to do that. And then I just eventually was like, I can't do that. I do what I do, and it might not be like that, but I've been practicing at it at least.
yeah,
like-
just be Kevin Campbell.
yeah.
So if I were to placing a bet, I'm going to place a bet. I might be wrong, but I'm going to be willing to bet you don't play a lot of covers.
I started playing covers because I got paid for cover gigs when I moved here.
Covers,
Okay.
And
covers.
someone
pay.
offered me a cover gig, and they're like, we're going to pay you $300. I was like, really? I was like, all right, so I started learning covers. LA, I never played covers.
Okay. That makes sense to me because as a creative person, you take the guitar as a tool. It's not this vessel of your other music is being channeled through you. That's a tool for your art. So I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Well, everybody, we are Past the Hat, and we're here every Friday night from 6 to 8. We have our live guests from 6:30 to 7:30, and then 7:30 to 8, our guest has sent a playlist of their favorite music, and we'll be looking forward to hearing Kevin's playlist
I know I am because
a
I'm
little
looking
bit
at
later. All of our shows are archived on WHUPFM.org. That's the audio from the shows. We've been here 10 years, so we've got well over 1,000 shows out there. And not just ours. There are thousands more from the other great offerings that we have all day long at the station. But, Bob, we also are as you affectionately call it, a TV studio.
We're a TV station for 1 hour during our 2-hour show from 6:30 to 7:30. We're live streaming the performances. So if you're just listening on WHUP FM 104.7 or WHUPFM.org, just doing the audio stream, you could flip over to your favorite streaming service and find us there at WHUP Pass the Hat, at WHUP Pass the Hat. And by the way, your favorite streaming services are Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Facebook and YouTube keep those streams forever, as far as we know, until they go out of business. So not only can you watch the live stream right now, but then you can catch all of the years worth of live streams, multiple years worth of live streams we have out there. So there's a wonderful archive of live hyperlocal music here to the Triangle, and we've got a fantastic archive of music, this one adding to the bunch.
At least 5 years, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely.
Or more. Well, we have reached the top of the hour, and we must share with you that we are WHUP LP Hillsboro. And Bob, we're so fortunate to have an Hour 2 sponsor. And tell us about that.
That's right. Support for the second hour of Pass the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsboro, North Carolina. You can see Kevin is modeling the box of chocolate that every guest receives here on Pass the Hat.
He's a professional actor.
That's right.
That's probably the best modeling we've had.
It's a good Vanna White impersonation, just with the hands and everything. Where was I?
We all have chocolate
We
needs.
all have chocolate needs. Yes. Get on over to Matthews. He's got an amazing array of fantastic gelato. He's got all of the various chocolates that you want, and you want all of the various chocolates. And the cappuccino machine is fixed. So if you want cappuccino, Kim Lane, was that a decent cappuccino you had today?
I'm shaking. Shaking.
Espresso cappuccino. How does one make gelato, Kim? Is there a machine for that?
I think there is.
Yes, there is a
'Cause he had
gelato
to-
machine.
He got mad at me one day. He had to clean it because he had put something with citrus on it. And he said, if I didn't know about that, I wouldn't have to do it.
Thank you, Matthew, for not
Sorry.
killing Kim Lane.
Well, we have reached the second half of our live show. We're enjoying Kevin Campbell's music tremendously. This is just great stuff. And you shared with us that when you started playing guitar, you listened to different sorts of jazz, and like Ella Fitzgerald and things like that. But back when you were growing up at home, was there music in your house growing up?
Yeah, my mom always had played gospel on Sundays. I'd come downstairs late in the early afternoons, and gospel music was always playing on the radio in the
Nice.
house.
Wait, you were a kid and you were allowed to sleep in on Sundays?
I was a little older, but yeah.
Okay.
But it was always like that. It was always like I would always hear that in the house, and there was always just I remember like being young and 8 tracks in the car, and
8 tracks.
you know,
Good times.
There are those things where the tape ends up all over the car when you pull it
No,
out.
I liked it when it was in the middle of the song and then it went ka-chunk.
And I recently took all of my dad's like 45s from that he had at the
Wow.
house. I took them. I have them now. He's got some great ones.
Sweet.
So yeah.
I was always jealous of the kids. They would have this stack of hundreds of 45s that they would bring to parties and be little DJs. And I had like 2 45s in my collection.
So there were 78s and then 45s and then 33, and those are revolutions per minute, Bob?
Yes, that's exactly
You're a
what it is.
scientist, right?
That's right. I've got turntables right here behind me that do all of those speeds.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. In case somebody brings in a 78, we're there.
I got 20 or 30 78s at home.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, will you save us from this aimless wandering?
All right. This one's called Where Do We Go From Here? Where do we go from here? Now that everything's changed, nothing seems the same. Never felt such pain, but I gotta move on. Now where do we go from here? 'Cause I would take a train, surely board a plane, find any way to feel at home. Now I just need some time, spending all my days searching the sky. a sign that you are still there. Now where do we go from here? 'Cause every day I pray the memories won't fade away, but I gotta move on. Where do we go from here? 'Cause I would take a train, surely board a plane, find any way to feel at home. Just need some time, spending all my days searching the sky for a sign that you are still there. Where do we go after we've lost our way? Where do we go from here? 'Cause I would take a train, surely board a plane, find any way to feel at home.
Kevin, we always like to talk about songwriting for a few minutes. You had shared with us the personal story behind the different songs on your most recent release, The Stages, and I've listened to some other earlier music, and there's a lot of variety in there, and as Kim has alluded to, there's some rockers and some jazzy things and some ballads. But this songwriting process, does it happen in any one way? You are a spoken word person, so do you have like a phrase that maybe people would call it a hook, or are you playing, strumming on the guitar, or where do your songs, how do they emerge?
I would say like 95% of the time it comes from like I'm noodling on a guitar and something sounds good, and then I mumble a melody, and then I'll get a word out of it, or a sentence or a phrase out of it, and then I'll just chase that phrase. And until I get to a chorus, and then I go, oh, that's what the song's about, and then I use like my thoughts and try to figure out how to
a little more conscious.
Yeah,
at that point.
Yeah, but before that, I'm just trying to get a feel for it. Sometimes I'll have like an idea or a line. Somebody will say something. I'm like, oh, that's a good song idea or a good title, and I'll put it in notes on my phone. And then like 8 months later, I'll look at it and I'm like, erase that. I usually never like it. I always like the way words sound when it comes out against a melody in your guitar, because you just phrase things differently than you would just writing down on a piece of paper.
And so does this process happen pretty quickly, or does it take a while, or depends?
It has happened quickly, but I've chased songs for years.
Yeah.
Or had like a line that I wanted in the song, and 10 years later I finally found the song I could put it in. Like
think it's wise that you don't push it. Some people, and I guess people go to, these retreats in the mountains, and they say you have 10 minutes to write a song about life or something like
Some
that.
kind of a prompt.
And that I think that has a lot of fun and value to it. But it's good that you don't push it. I guess when it's not coming, you just say, all right, here, I'll put it over here.
I'll do that until I get to maybe like 5 or 6 songs I really like. I really want to put on an album, and then I'm like, I'm halfway to an album there. Even at that point, I'll like start talking to the person I'm working on the album with. And then when we start setting a date to get together, that's my deadline, and then I start writing the rest of the album. That's usually how it happens. But those first 5 or 6 songs, I could take a couple years just noodling and just taking my time, trying to figure out where I'm at. Because I don't know until like the song gets done, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I'm a little sad today about this, and that makes sense.
And so you have lines that you can't really sing because of too many words, or you have a new image come in, or you had shared before that. Well, I need a chorus here, or maybe this is too repetitive. Let's put in a bridge to break it up. And so, are those conscious things you just sort of feel in your way?
Yeah, that's more technical stuff, and I can do that especially when I know what the song's about. But if I write a bunch of songs in 1 year, pretty soon every song I write will be kind of about the same thing.
Yeah.
So that usually slows me down. I have to go through a different experience and have things happen in my life, and then all of a sudden I start writing from a different perspective. Like I grew up a little bit, and it's like,
Yeah, you mentioned not just writing songs, but writing for an album. So do you have that thought of this album seems to be taking on a particular theme, and I need to write songs on this theme, or maybe this album is turning a little dark, I need to throw some lightness in there, or the other way around?
I definitely do that, and I try to make sure I have a theme for all of my albums. Like my nostalgia album, I was my girlfriend and I at the time, we had lived in this place for 18 years. We were moving to another place, a better place, and as we were going through and taking everything down, I was just getting nostalgic about all the stuff we did in that apartment for 18 years and grew up, and I wrote the whole album off of that feeling.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot to mine right there.
So, yeah, and then I just like took all the songs I felt I wrote like during dark times, and even if the songs didn't sound dark, I still put on an album called Different Shades, Same Blue. They're all songs that were written when I was feeling low.
Sure, because you could feel that emotion inside you, whether it was coming through the song to other people or not.
Exactly.
I think one thing people who are listening need to do is they need to go to your website and they need to look at the volume of work that you do. Because as artists, sometimes we feel hamstrung, that it has to be perfect, or it has to be, well, I did this and now I have to do this. You just do it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you do art in response to your life, or to reflect your life. And you have a huge catalog of lots of things, and I'm sure people can find all that stuff. And so when you look at the huge catalog of all the art you've done, is there any of it that you're like, ugh, or are you glad it's all out there?
I'm fine it's all out there. Even like the first album, I wasn't singing as well or playing guitar as well as a kid, but like there's some like cool performances on there, and I played a lot of those songs on the album now just way better, but I still play them because I really love the songs, because like those are songs you did your whole life, and then you make your first album, you take those songs you've been.
We were having this discussion before you joined us here on the show, that songs don't have to just be finished and be put on the shelf. They can have a life of their own. They can grow and they can get better throughout your life. You don't have to just have, I wrote this song 10 years ago and it is what it is. No, I might change it every time I play it. It might get better every time that I play it.
I'll change lyrics, I'll add chords. And it's like,
right.
It won't sound like the album at all.
Well, we'd love it if you'd lay some more chords on us.
All right. This song is called The Rub.
The rub or the
Rub.
rug? Okay.
Yeah, it's a life song.
What? I can't see his lips.
Well, you think it won't last? Well, good times are meant to be had forever. We'll have the last laugh and look back a little sad it's over. Whatever's going gonna happen, no, it's gonna happen anyway. Always does. It always does. And I can't keep wishing everything stayed the way it always was, because it never does. Can't we, you and she, they and him, her and me, get it together? Get it together. We're always fighting over that, this and those and these, yours and mine, who the hell knows, or whoever, or whomever, whichever, whatever's gonna happen, no, it's gonna happen anyway. Always does. It always does. And I can't keep wishing everything stayed the way it always was, because it never does. And that's the rub, got you thinking it'll stay the same. Go outside, everything done changed, well good God. Well that's the rub. Telling everybody that you want to change, but then you don't do enough, so it stays the same. Well good God, good God, good God, dear God, why can't we get back the way that things used to be? Before the doubt and misery took over and controlled us. It's easy to say I'm gonna change my life, but it's harder to do. It's easy to say I'm gonna make it right, but it's harder to do. It's easy to say no more stress and strife, but damn it's harder to do. So much harder to do. It's easy to say I'm gonna enjoy my life, just enjoy my life, I really love my life, but damn it's harder to do, so much harder to do. Whatever's gonna happen, you know it's gonna happen anyway. Always does, it always does. And I can't keep wishing everything stayed the way it always was, because it never does. And that's the rub. That's the rub. That's the rub. That's the rub.
Yes.
All right. Like that one.
What do you listen to when you really want to listen to music?
I'm a shuffle kind of person, so it's like all of my music and
Same.
just whatever random. I like listening to the new stuff that comes out, kind of see where people are taking things. So if
Yep.
it's new, I'm always going to check it out and listen to the thing from beginning to end, especially like an album. I'll
Thank-
play it. But I love like Smokey Robinson and like songwriters like that can have like great turns of phrases and things like that. Soulful and rhythmic, I like that. And
But thank you for saying new music, because I'm a person
Yeah.
of a certain age where half of my friends say, there's been no good music since 1982. And my response is always, well, had you listened to any music since 1982 that wasn't made before 1980? You have to keep listening to new stuff, because there's so much amazing, good music happening all over.
yeah.
Speaking of great songwriters, I'll be privileged to be over there across the street in Yonder, where we were just talking about.
Oh, you've got a big
this
show coming up.
upcoming Wednesday, September 18th, 7 to 9 o'clock, with the amazing Jess Klein and Jonathan Bird. So, no cover. See you over there.
Are you going to change your name to start with J so you can fit in?
My name does start with J on my first name.
How about that?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that.
And
I'm
you need
only
to-
called that when I'm in trouble.
If you're coming out to Yonder this Wednesday, you need to get there early.
It's going to be
'Cause-
packed.
Yeah, that's going to be a full house. Definitely be there.
Jonathan brings them, doesn't he?
And Kirk and Jess.
Yeah, Jess, haven't played with her in a while, so really looking forward to that. She's amazing and a force, that's for sure.
Amen to that.
So Kevin, you said that last year you were out a lot, doing a lot of playing, and that is exhausting. That artist life is, it's hard. And so this year you've kind of ebbed a little bit. What's the goal for the next year or two?
I'm writing now.
Okay.
It's like that. Last year was like finishing an album, promoting an album, and then this year is just trying to write and see what comes out. I just contacted somebody to talk to about possibly starting to record stuff next year. So I'm kind of starting that process, trying to put a deadline on me so I can finish writing stuff. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'll take whatever if anybody wants me to play. I'm just not actively going after to try to play. Like I don't.
Right.
Sometimes
And
it
are
feels
you-
like an ego thing. Like, do I need to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have
like-
to put yourself in that creative space so you can write. And it sounds like you're doing that with intention, which is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, you talked about using that opportunity to go out there whether it's an open mic or a local small place or whatever to test out new material.
Yeah.
And so do you, when you do that, do you pay any attention to what happens in the people, or say you just sort of kind of feeling it for yourself, well, let me figure out how to perform this?
No, because people can look like they're having a conversation and they'll come up to you after and be like,
Say,
"Oh,
"Oh,
so
that was
great! I
great."
really loved it." Like you just never know. Like,
So it's just sort of for yourself to get comfortable with the new tune.
yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
totally it.
Cool.
I personally hope you stay in this part of North Carolina. I think it's wild that you came here from LA just a couple of years ago. So the pandemic is kind of winding down, and you're like, well, here I am.
It's like I
And-
threw a dart. I actually kind of did. Like
We
I just,
appreciate
like,
that.
I needed like the fresh start after like I lost my girlfriend,
Sure.
and I grew up in Northern Virginia, so my family was only like 4.5 hours away.
Yeah.
I lived in Charlotte in the 90s.
Okay.
Like a couple of years, and I lived in Greensboro for second and third grade.
Oh, yeah.
So I been in North
So you
Carolina.
had some connection at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was just looking up. I was like, good singer-songwriter towns or good towns that have like music scenes. And I found this Rolling Stone article talking about the Raleigh-Durham area,
Yeah.
and they were sitting there saying how unpretentious the musicians were, how they loved helping each other. And I was like, after being in LA for 22 years, like 23 years, I can take some of that
Oh,
help.
that is,
Yeah.
and I think you've experienced that with John and FJ. Is the music environment around here is amazingly collaborative,
Yeah.
and everybody is trying to lift everybody else up.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, I hope you stay. What a
plan to.
welcome voice you are.
Until he
Really
goes
loving
on his
this.
world tour. And then,
But he's got it. Like he could
We
get a
know-
house here.
You have
We
to have
knew
a
him
home
when.
base.
well, you need a home base.
We're gonna find you a place to stay. Okay. I think we probably have time for one more song.
One more?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One more good long one.
Yeah.
All right. Let me play an appropriate song on this gray,
They're
wet
all
day.
appropriate.
You could play an inappropriate song if you wanted.
We
to.
like inappropriate songs.
This one's called Feels Like Rain. It's kind of when you feel like a bad mood kind of coming on. That's what the intention is, but it's like the happiest song about depression ever, I think. So here we go. The sky's gray, threatening rain. Playing guitar, feeling down today. Feels like rain. It feels like rain. Not every day gonna have these clouds, but today, oh, they're hanging around. Feels like rain. It feels like rain. It feels like rain. It feels like rain. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. said it feels like rain. It feels like rain. It feels like rain. It feels like rain. Come rain or shine, we gotta take some time and make sure we all look up. Cause the sky changes just like time, but we don't notice cause we're all caught up. Feels like rain. It feels like rain, rain. Feels like rain. It feels like rain. Go come on down. Go come on down. Go come on down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said it feels like rain. Feels like rain. Feels like rain. Feels like rain. Seems to give me hope that we might dodge the storm. It might not rain. It might not rain. It might not rain. It might not rain. But I'll be damned if it don't feel like it's gonna come on down. Oh. Come on down, come on down, come on down, yeah, 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 yeah. Said it feel like rain, said it feel like rain. I said it feel like rain. It feel like rain. Come on now. Thanks for letting me play, guys.
That was the happiest, toe-tappingest song about depression I've heard in a while.
Y'all have been listening to live the original musings, singing, songwriting of Kevin Campbell. Kind of fresh here from LA, but firmly established here in the Triangle. We are delighted.
You're not letting him leave, are you?
We're locking the door. I told you, not going home. But stay tuned, because once we turn off the live stream, Kevin's going to hang out. He's going to move over here to the DJ chair, and he's going to share with us the music that he's loving for the next 30 minutes. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned at WHUPFM.org or FM 104.7 here in the footprint of Hillsborough, or on the TuneIn app.
Yep. We haven't told people about how they can enjoy our show.
We just did.
But like on an ongoing basis, like they were going to walk away from the show and going to be like, I want to see it again. So here's what you do. You can go to Facebook, you can go to YouTube, and as long as Bezos and whoever the people who run YouTube are, it'll be out there.
Yep, forever.
Twitch will be online for 2 weeks because they got to make room for all the people watching people play video games,
Gaming.
which is really weird, man. Or you can just go to WHUPFM.org and you can listen to the high quality recording of the show.
That's right. Click on shows, scroll down. It's alphabetical. Scroll down to Pass the Hat, and then you will see a huge archive there organized by date with the most recent date on top, and you can scroll down through a decade worth of weekly shows.
That doesn't make you feel old or anything, does it?
I was old when I started.
That is true. Yeah. Okay. All right. You need to wave goodbye to the camera. We're going to say farewell to those watching us. I'm going to fire up the Whatomatic